It's only my opinion. Coffee milk.
Why do heterosexuals need protection from the LGBTQ community? Little Mama started a heterosexual rights movement because, I'm sure you guys have been privy to all the hate crimes against heterosexuals. The reason why she wants to start it is because she wants to protect people from being canceled. She wants to protect heterosexual people from being canceled. She wants to make it possible for heterosexual people to say whatever they want about gay and trans people and just sort of get away with it. Because that's the world that we're living in right now. This whole anti-cancel culture, which is just bullshit. But we need a movement to protect ourselves so that we don't get in trouble from our mouth. Violence against trans people have gone up 20% in this country. They need our help. Our trans, our LGBTQ brothers and sisters, they are the ones that need our help. Dustin Parker, 25 years old, is fatally shot New Year's Day. Monica Diamond, 35, black trans woman, killed in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's many of these individuals that die because they choose to live in their truth.
Do your thing. That's fine. You're an adult, but let children be children.
Right.
And the other thing I was pointing out is, why is the government so easily able to help with this? Why does the government encourage this? Why do they want children to manipulate their gender all of a sudden?
What does let children be children mean? Like play? I don't know what that means. People say that a lot. Like, why don't we just let children be children? What does that mean? What does let a child be a child mean? Does that mean let them discover the world, the wonder of the world? Let them, I don't know, color or like, I don't know what that means in regards to trans people. Let a kid be a kid. So is a trans kid not a kid? I don't know. See, this is when people use these like weird languages to cover up what they really mean. And it doesn't make sense to me, but somehow it makes sense to them. So I'm just very curious about that. That dude, the whole... I'm just gonna ask a question here. I just want to know, why does the government want children to manipulate their gender? Like, it's totally annoying and disingenuous because people always bring the government in situations to hypen up the whole whatever bullshit that they're trying to say. It's like, oh, why are the government all of a sudden okay with people having rights to choose what they do with their body? It's like, that's not a conspiracy. That's how America's always been. Like, you have the right to do what you want with your body. Like, isn't that what this whole country is about? So it's not a conspiracy that the government is okay with you choosing to do whatever you want with your body. And I don't believe the government's like, hey, go cut off your kid's genitals. But I believe as a parent, you have the right to do what you want with your child, unless I'm somehow mistaken.
It's basically depopulation. So if you have little girls that like little girls, then you won't have children. If you have little boys that like little boys, then you won't have children. And if you have little boys that like their girls more so, and we believe in that notion without them even going through puberty or giving them an opportunity to figure out who they truly are, we'll have more confusion and less babies. That was my point.
First, I believe that your depopulation example or argument was a little anti-LGBT community, because you're saying that gay and lesbian people are going to contribute to population of the world, which is stupid as fuck. But let's dive in. Let's dive into your world, supposedly, where everyone all of a sudden becomes gay? Like, it's such a weird world that you have painted, where all of a sudden men are just with men and women are just with women and nobody's having kids. That's impossible. Let's just say, let's say that men just deal with men and women just deal with women in your weird hyperbolical world. Don't you think that somehow they would still have kids? You think, because to me, I see tons of gay, lesbian, whatever. They still want like a family dynamic. So if we are in your world where everyone's gay and lesbian and all that, I feel like there would still be a process to have kids. We would still understand that we need to have kids. So it's just, I have a hard time with people like this, because what they do is they make up this hyperbolical world where, you know, that sort of has no logic, where all the worst scenario happens, and then they use that as evidence to back up their either bigoted thoughts or their anti-gay, anti-trans thoughts. And that's just frustrating. It's frustrating when you have to explain to someone that their made-up world is just that. Made up, fake, not real. It's not a thing that's possible.
And when it comes to people who choose to be gay or choose to be lesbian or choose to change their sexuality with the mind frame of an adult, and you're able to do that on your own, I don't have anything against you. I have gay family members, I have lesbian family members, as well as friends, and I don't judge grown people who make wrong choices.
Pass me on all the I got a gay cousin, auntie, uncle, blah blah, but like also that same tactic that white people use when they fuck up in regards to race. Oh, I got a black friend, I got 2 black cousins, I got a black neighbor. It's just, I'm tired of the same tactics that racist, bigoted, sexist, anti-trans gay people use. They all use the same basic fucking tactics. Oh, I can't hate these people, I have a fucking dog that once humped another male dog. I can't possibly be anti-gay. How are your relations with these people? These gay people? Do you actually have a relationship with people like that? Or are you just saying you know people like that? There's a difference between knowing and actually having a relationship with people that are of the LGBTQ community.
When we're talking about these babies, we have to be very mindful about what they're being fed. Because if my niece comes to me and she say, "Auntie, I want to be a boy," and I'm like, "Why, Chicky?" "Oh, because I was watching a show with Sasa, and boys are very strong. They know how to shoot basketballs. They win when it comes to like tussling and little fights." And I'm like, "Well, you don't have to be a boy for that." And I can explain these things to her that she may be confused about. But if she's telling me I think that I am a boy, and she still feels that after she goes through puberty, I'm not gonna label her insane. I'm gonna listen to her, take heed, and support her. But we're talking about making children feel like they can make a choice of changing their genitals before they even go through puberty. You don't even know who you are or what you like.
Once again, making up weird worlds that don't make sense. I love that your example is that your cousin might see something on television and be curious about it and come to you and ask questions. Oh, kids asking questions, being curious about something they saw. How can I explain this as an adult with limited imagination? You know, it's just, it doesn't make sense. It's not a travesty, or it's not the end of the world for a child to see something and have questions about it. It's what kids do. They're curious about life. They're discovering things. Are you aware that kids can't like make appointments with doctors and surgeons and things like that? so the way you like said it as if kids can just like make appointments to get their genitals removed. Like, stop talking in these hyperbolic ways when you're talking about things that you are not experiencing yourself. You don't know what it's like to be a trans human being. You don't. But you talk as if you do. You talk as if you know their struggles. I don't know their struggles. But what I do know is that people have the right to be who they are. And it's not up to you to fucking control who they are. And that's what this is all about. This is literally all about control. You want to control what another person does with their body. What they do, it doesn't affect you in any way, shape, or form, but you want control. You want to make sure that they do this, this, and this. It's funny how, right, you as a woman, you wouldn't want the government to tell you what to do with your body, right? Government, stay away from my body. I'm sure you are that kind of person. Yet you feel okay to tell another person what they need to do with their body, how they should feel about their gender. That's just selfish.
Why does she have to step back?
The governor is signing a bill that affects all Georgians. Why is he doing it in private? And why is he trying to keep elected officials who are representing us out of the process?
Exactly. Yeah, you said you give her one more time, like you're gonna do something. Are you serious?
No, you are not. Represent.
She's not under arrest.
For what? Under arrest for what? For trying to see something that our governor is doing? Our governor is signing a bill that affects all Georgians, and you're going to arrest an elected representative. Why does the governor have more power than a representative? Why are you arresting her? Stop arresting her.
Why are you arresting
Why?
her?
Sign the violation. Sign the code. What is she in violation of? I want you to sign the code. Sign the code. Sign it. What are you? Sign the code. Sign the code. Sign the code. Why are you arresting her? Under what? Under what? Under what law are you arresting her? Why are you arresting her? Why are you arresting her? Tell us now. Why are you arresting her? Sign it.
Mind you, she's getting arrested because she knocked on a door. Yes. She took her hands, she curled it into a ball, and she knocked on a door. And for some reason, that was cause enough to arrest her. When racist people are in power, racist people are going to do racist things. They don't want to hear black voices. They want us to shut up and do what they say. That's the way this country has always been. If you are brown and black, you need to shut the fuck up and just deal with the rules that we have made. Oh, you wanna say in some of these rules? No, nigga, shut the fuck up. This is what they constantly tell us all the time. Instead of cages, Mexicans are being held in clear plastic cubes and have foil paper-like blankets. I guess they're thermal blankets. They look like foil paper and they look uncomfortable. Democrats, we need to do better than this. We can't hold humans like this. This doesn't feel any better than what the other guy did. But look, they have Kool-Aid jammers. Oh my God, they have Kool-Aid jammers. Man, Kool-Aid jammers and a bunch of canned stuff. Oh, and look at that spacious backyard, guys. Look how open and wide and welcoming that looks. All the amenities of a jail. I don't like that. I don't like when one party's in power, they see something terrible that party's doing, and they're like, hey, that's awful what you're doing over there to those people. Then they get in power, and they don't do that much better. To me, plastic cubes are not any better than cages. They're pretty much the same thing. We need to do better than this. We can't keep humans in these conditions. This is awful. Democrats, get your shit together. 10 people between the age of 20 and 65 were killed in Colorado at the King Super grocery store. 10 human beings. 10 people died. 10 human beings who were living their life. Families. 10 individuals who had a whole life in front of them, who experienced some life, were taken because someone decided that they wanted to shoot up a grocery store. I don't know what to say to mass shootings. I don't know. I really don't. It happens a lot. I'm not numb to it because it affects me emotionally, but there's nothing else left to be said. We need to make changes, and we don't. We in this country are just too in love with our guns, man. They're everything to some people. I've never been a fan of guns. I come from a country where guns are a problem. When I was younger, I was never allowed to play with water guns. So I've never had an attachment to them. But a lot of people do. That's their identity. If you look at a lot of politicians from the South, when they're doing their campaign, it's part of their identity, right? Their big collection of assault rifles, like 2 or 3 of them. They're just standing next to it, like being all casual. To a lot of Americans, that is their identity. The guns is part of their whole living, right? Going hunting with their dad, that's part of growing up. I don't know how to speak to those people because they have a certain attachment to guns that I don't have. It's hard to speak to someone who has an attachment to something that you just can't comprehend. So I don't comprehend it. I don't get it. I get that guns make certain people feel powerful. It makes a lot of people feel powerful. And a lot of people right now feel a lack of power. But I do think there are ways that the Americans who enjoy having their guns could still have their guns. But someone like me who wants to feel safe in a country and want to feel safe when he goes to the grocery store and not feel that some person who's having a bad day or someone who's been plotting their get back for months could snuff out my life.
You might not agree, it's cool. I'm one of a kind. Trying to move forward, so I gotta be progressive. Gotta make sure everything I say is selective. It's only my opinion. Coffee,